Hello and good afternoon to my my second period class. I know a lot of you got taken out by the assembly, so I wanted to just get a chance and finish up the notes. Remember that your homework is to finish taking the notes, and I will definitely be checking the rest of the notes on Monday so I can make sure you understood this stuff because this is some pretty crucial stuff. All right, so let's talk about where we had left off. We just got done talking about this FOIL method. And just to re-explain, remember that it's the first, outer, inner, last. Like here's my firsts, x and x. And remember, you're multiplying together, so it's x squared as my first. And then it's outers, x and 2, to make 2x. And then it's my inners, 3 and x, to make a 3x. Remember, that was outer, inner. And then last, 3 and 2 to make 6. All right, so that is first, outer, inner, last. Add together my middle terms, x squared plus 5x plus 6, and that's my answer. Okay, so now let's move on to we did this first example here. Right, we did that example. Let me re-explain that one, actually. So we do the firsts, s times s squared. We do my outers, s times 2, 2s. We do my inners, 4s. We do my lasts, 8. Combine, s squared plus 6s plus 8. Okay. Okay, so let's make it a little bit more difficult. Let's put a negative in there and see what happens. Okay. I encourage you to pause here and try it on your own before I actually show it here. Okay, so again, first, outer, inner, last. First, outer, inner, last. X times x is x squared. Outer, x times 3 is 3x. Inner, here's where it gets funky. Negative 6 times x is a minus 6x. Last, negative 6 and a 3, negative 18. Sorry about my funky 18. I combine like terms in the middle there. That's going to give me an x squared minus 3x minus 18. And that's my answer. So the key parts to watch out for is this distributing with that negative term. That can be a little tricky, so watch out for that. All right, let's keep it going. You try this one. And so pause it, and then play it when you think you're ready. Okay, so let's do it. First, outer, inner, last. Firsts. 8m squared times m squared is 8m to the 4th. 8m squared times negative 3n is minus, look, negative 3, minus 24m squared n. Right, 8 times negative 3 is my negative 24, and then I've got an m squared and an n that I'm multiplying together. Now, this next part, inners, negative n times m squared. You know, you could put n negative nm squared, but look, I've got an m squared n. Just to not throw yourselves off, let's put the m first, okay? I put the m first here, so let's put the m first here. Order doesn't matter, so let's just put it there because, again, we can easily recognize that those are like terms. If we put the n first, we may not see that. Okay, let's finish up this FOIL process. Our lasts, negative and a negative make a positive. N and 3n make 3n squared. Now, combine like terms in the middle. 8m to the 4th minus 25m squared n plus 3n squared. And there's my answer. Okay, all right. Now you're going to, so that was now remember, FOILing is only for a binomial times a binomial, right? 2 terms and 2 terms, like you see here, 2 terms here, 2 terms here. Understand that a power is really the same thing. Now, your first response to this is probably going to try to do this. You're probably going to be like, oh, I do this, right? Which the answer is no, don't do that. Bad, students, go lay down. Bad. Sit. No, you're not dogs. Okay, so let's take a look here. What do you actually do then? Well, you got to think about, like, what does it mean to square something? Like, if I actually take 5 squared, that's 25, right? Because that's 5 times 5. You take this base and multiply it by itself, right? So you got to understand that x plus 3 squared is really x plus 3 times x plus 3. And you FOIL this, right? We just saw a binomial and a binomial, just like what I was talking about. FOIL that. First, outer, inner, last. Now, the only catch is, and it's not even a catch, something to watch for, if you've got this whole x plus, if you got something squared, you will always get the same term inside there, okay? You should always get that. So something to watch out for. Final answer, x squared plus 6x plus 9. Okay, I'm actually going to jump to this problem here. Okay, so this is different. This is not foiling anymore. Why? Because now this is a binomial times a trinomial. A binomial times a trinomial. Remember, foiling was binomial and a binomial. All right, so let's do this. Now here's what we do. We do the exact same thing. X times x squared. X to the third. Keep distributing. X times 4x. 4x squared. Keep distributing. X times negative 6 is a negative 6x. Okay, so I distribute with my first term, and now I distribute with my second term. Negative 5 times x squared is a negative 5x squared. Negative 5 times 4x is a negative 20x. And a negative 5 times negative 6 is a positive 30. What do we do in the end? Combine like terms. So that gives me an x to the third. That gives me a negative 1x squared. That gives me a negative 20, oops, I forgot my 2, negative 26x, and then a plus 30. There's my answer. Okay, so if it's a binomial times a trinomial, you still, like, you got to remember the goal, or not the goal, but the gist of multiplying is just the distributive property, just like distributive, like over and 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 over again. That's really all you do. It's just the distributive property. Okay. All right. So make sure you're writing down those problems. I'm going to check for each one of those problems that I did today. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend.